Hey guys, so Beautylish is having a spring gift card event, so I thought I would do a quick video on some recommendations and also share with you my wish list or things that are going straight into my cart once this thing starts, which is today the 25th, and I believe it starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time, so 6 a.m. for you guys on the East Coast. And for every $100 that you spend, you will get a $20 digital gift card. And when I've gotten gift cards from Beautylish in the past digitally, it pretty much just shows up in my account like I have a credit there, which is really, really handy. So I believe this sale is going to be going on for 4 days, and Beautylish usually only has this gift card event once a year, like in the fall, winter time. And I made a video for their 2019 gift card event last October, so I'm going to link that down below. I am not going to go through all of my recommendations on Beautylish because Beautylish pretty much carries like all of the brands that I really, really love. And I think my video for that fall gift card event was like almost an hour. So again, I'm going to link that down below. None of my recommendations have changed, but I did want to just add a few things because a few things have come out since then. Also, a few things were released right before that gift card event and they were completely sold out. So they're available now and I just wanted to mention them. And then we'll go ahead and get into my wish list. So before I forget, all of the things that I have on my face, I will list down below in the description box. I will probably mention most of the things that I have on, but if I don't, again, it'll be down there and they will all be available on Beautylish if you are interested at all. So I first want to mention a collection that came out right before the Beautylish fall gift card event back in 2019. And by the time the gift card event rolled around, everything was sold out. So I didn't really talk about it. I had done a video dedicated to this entire collection, and I'm talking about the Tom Ford Soleil NEIGE collection. I still absolutely love this collection. This was one of those collections where I loved every single piece. It was so tight, you know, in its vision. I felt like the story of the collection was just, it was just so beautiful. And it had this like perfect kind of like winter soleil feel to it. And there were 3 quads that were part of this collection. I have one of them on my eyes right now. I have the 03 Soleil d'Hiver. And this is probably the warmest out of the 3, but this is just so, so beautiful. All 3 of the quads have the wet dry formula from Tom Ford. I used all of them dry on my eyes, and you just get this really beautiful, shimmery, chic, sophisticated kind of look that I really, really love. None of it is like overly pigmented where I find it hard to work with or just sort of, you know, just a little too bold on my eyes. I love these shimmery washes of color. So again, this is the one that I have on my eyes, and I will link my dedicated video to this collection down below in the description box if you want to look up swatches and all of that sort of thing. But here is Soleil NEIGE, and this is the one that has the blue in there. This one is definitely a little bit more dramatic. These 2 colors down here will give you like a darker, deeper, smokier look. It's absolutely beautiful. And again, all of these can be worked wet dry. So if you work them wet, you just get a more opaque kind of application. I personally happen to like these dry. I just love this like wash that you get. And then here is number 2, Soleil et Lune. And this one has this beautiful green color, gorgeous. And I found this whole like color story of this quad to be so unique and again, just shimmery and gorgeous. So those are the 3 quads that are part of this Soleil NEIGE collection that is now available during this gift card event. So I wanted to mention it. The collection also included 2 liquid highlighters. I have both of these on my cheeks. Well, I have this one kind of like all over my face because I love it so much. So this one is number 3, Reflects Guilt. And this one is number 4, Glacial Rose. So this one can be worked as like a liquid blush or kind of like a liquid bronzer situation, and that's what I did today. I kind of used it as like a bronzer. It'll give you like a very warm kind of glow. And again, I think it can be used as blush as well. It's just really, really beautiful. And then there were some, what are these called? I guess these are just tinted lip balms. I have talked about the number 2 Après Soleil a lot because this one just has such a beautiful like nude sheen. It just sort of is like lip perfecting without adding like too much pigment. And the balm formula is very, very comfortable. I actually have number, which one is it? Number 5, the Baie d'Hiver. And this is like a cooler toned one. So you can see the stain basically that it gives, but again, it's a balm, so it's not going to give you that much pigmentation, but the colors are just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then there was a clear one. This is just number 1 Reflection. And again, just a wonderful formula. So those are the highlights of the Tom Ford Soleil collection that I would have recommended during the fall gift card event, but I can recommend to you now since it's available. Next, I want to talk about the Natasha Genoa Love Palette and Love Cheek Palette. So I have the Cheek Palette on, and that is this guy right here. So this little collection came out basically for like Valentine's Day, so about a month and a half ago. And I basically have this cream cheek product and this sort of powder blush on top of it. That's what I pretty much have on my cheeks. I think it's absolutely beautiful. In my top 5 blushes for this season that I posted yesterday, I actually recommended the Bloom over the Love. And I think I talked about this in my recommendations last fall, but I do love this one as well. If this is something that you have been interested in, that you have not picked up yet, I definitely recommend this. And the only reason why I recommend this one over the Love one is because the Love has this diamond powder, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I wish this was just sort of a powder blush with this kind of cool tone pink to it, but instead it's more of like a glittery kind of topper, and it's just not something that I use that much. So for me, I kind of focus my usage on these 3 products in this palette, yet in the Bloom, I really love all 4 products. So that's one of the main reasons why I prefer the Bloom over the Love, but I do really, really enjoy this one as well. And then as for the Love eyeshadow palette, I really love this palette. This one is really, really beautiful. I especially love the shimmer shades in here. These 3 and this one right here, they're just so, I don't know, like they're just really special. I find myself coming to this palette and just adding one of these shimmers to any other kind of like eyeshadow look that I have, and I feel like it just adds a little something. Like with this beautiful like shimmery wash that I have with the Tom Ford shadows, if I wanted to amp it up a little bit, I would probably throw on some of this Lifetime shade, which I'll do right now actually. So I'll just take a little bit with my finger and just tap it on, and I just get like a little bit more of an impact there. And then if I want to use this palette alone, I think there's obviously a lot of directions you can go in, because there are some like nice matte shadows in here that actually are a little bit more like flesh toned, at least on my skin tone, like the Valentine and the Intense. When I first got this palette, I was like, oh my God, like it's all just pink. Like, what am I gonna do with this? I was hoping for a few neutrals in there to kind of, I don't know, sedate the brightness of this, but these 2 actually come off fairly flesh tone on me. So this shade and these 2 end up becoming a really nice base that I can work off of, and then just add like a little bit of color. Like I love these 2 shades. They both have like a little bit of like a duochrome to them, and they're just a lot of fun. And then obviously you can deepen up with some of the purples. So I really love this palette. I think it's a lot of fun. I think this was perfect for Valentine's Day. I think it's perfect for spring, summer. We're seeing a lot of like pink and purple color stories for eyeshadow palettes, and I think this is definitely one of the better ones. So that's the Natasha Genoa Love palette along with the Love Glow cheek palette that I would both recommend if you are interested in. And speaking of perfect spring, summertime palettes, I just can't say enough good things about this Vizier Shoo Shoo palette. It is just so absolutely stunning for the summertime. And I love that they really just focused on the pink and then kind of built a color story around the pink. At least that's what it appears like. Like I'm envisioning them having developed like these 2 colors first, and then let's add another bright color to kind of like be able to blend out. And then all of these are kind of like supporting colors that are just absolutely gorgeous. Like this palette to me, even though there's only 8 shades, I feel like, you know, when it comes to colors and color stories, VISEART is really just, they're so good. They're just so meticulous in like color stories and like color pairings that I feel like if you do want to, let's say, take this with you on vacation and maybe one day you're not into the pink, like not using the pinks isn't gonna ruin this entire palette, because you have all of these neutrals here, you have this beautiful like duochrome down here, and you can do like a really pretty kind of like neutral tone look. You can fade this bright melon color into this matte here and like kind of tone it down a little bit. It's just another really, really well thought out palette from VISEART, and I just love how much impact their little palettes give. So this little Chou Chou Petit Pro palette I would definitely recommend. The other Vizier palette that I have just fallen in love with is the 12 Pan Paris Edit palette. You know, when I look at this one, I feel like this is such a perfect like spring transition palette. I feel like this could go from like late winter into spring. And then the Chou Chou Petit Pro palette would be great for like spring into summer and well into the summertime. It just has so much heat to it. And this one is just so beautiful. And again, perfect for this time of year. And I've been loving it. I think the shimmers in here are really gorgeous. And of course the VISEART mattes are VISEART mattes. They are one of my favorites on the market. So that is the Paris Edit palette from VISEART, another recommendation from me. And then a couple eyeshadow quads from Charlotte Tilbury have come out since last fall. This is the, I was gonna call it the version 2 of the Rebel, but she renamed it to Green Lights. I think this is called Green Lights now. I love this eyeshadow palette. I love the color story, but there's something about the formula in this particular palette that is so good. It's so creamy and so smooth. And again, I will link to this video and any other kind of videos where I've done reviews on any of the things that I'm mentioning. I will list down below in my description box. If you're interested in any of these things, you'll get like a full, you know, video on them. So definitely check that out. This is definitely one of my all-time favorites from Charlotte Tilbury in terms of her quads. And then this is another new one that I just started to play around with and I wanted to mention because it's gorgeous. The satin shades here, these three, are just like the Green Lights. Smooth, blendable, pigmented, just really creamy. I love it. And then this matte shade is so easy to work with. Sometimes I don't get along with all of Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows. Sometimes I have like a few hit or misses in like some of her larger palettes or like her instant look in a palettes. But this matte, I really enjoy. So out of all of the new ones that have come out, I really like the Green Lights and the Copper Charge quads. And then last but not least, I always forget that Beautylish carries La Mer. And you guys know, I'm a La Mer fan, and I know La Mer either works for you or doesn't work for you. But I wanted to mention some of the products that I really love. And this is the lotion that I use every night. This is the moisturizing soft lotion. It has a pump, which is probably why I enjoy this more than like the moisturizing soft cream. That one comes in a tub, and I feel like the consistency is fairly similar to this. This is, I think, meant to be a little bit lighter than that one, but I just love that this is in a pump, and this is as much, I guess you could say, like La Mer moisturizing that I need. If you've ever used any of their cream, like the original cream, that is like spackle. And I do have that, and I definitely use that on days when I'm feeling really dry, but this is perfect for the everyday. And again, the pump is so good. So that's the moisturizing soft lotion from La Mer. I also love the tonic from La Mer. You can see I always have one of these when I do an empties, and I love it. I have really dry skin, and so toner was something that I always kind of passed on. I always thought it was like an astringent, that it was supposed to just really dry up your skin, so I never used it until I spoke to like an esthetician, and they told me no, toners can do a multitude of different things depending on your skin type. And so at that point I kind of started to try some, and this one for me personally is one that balances my skin the most. It makes my skin feel the most normal. Doesn't feel oily. It doesn't feel like greasy in any way. It also doesn't feel tight at all after I use this. It just feels really refreshed. So anytime I like wet my skin to kind of like rebalance the pH, I just use a little bit of this tonic. I just, you know, wipe it all over my face, and then I feel like I'm ready to go in with the rest of my skincare. So those are my two like top picks in terms of skincare from La Mer. And that is it for my recommendations. Again, I will link my fall 2019 recommendations video down below. It's very long, but those are like all of my recommendations from the Beautylish site. So let's move into my wish list. I just have a few things on my wish list, and you'll see that it is very like self-care at home focused. Now that we are all spending a lot more time at home, my focus has definitely changed. And I don't have any of these products. I will be purchasing probably most of them, if not all of them, but let me just show you what's on my wish list or what's in my cart at the moment. So the first product is from a company I've never heard of and have definitely never tried anything from. They're called Sacred Ritual, and I think they're kind of like a body care company, but they have a body scrub called Morning Buzz. And I, as you guys may or may not know, but I'm a coffee lover. I'm a coffee drinker, and I also just love the scent of coffee. I had purchased the Jordan Samuel body scrub, which has like coffee bits in it, and I just love the scent of it. So I thought I would give the Sacred Ritual Morning Buzz body scrub a try. So it's supposed to have coffee bits in there as well, and the caffeine is supposed to, you know, help tighten and firm your body, whatever. I just really love the scent of coffee, especially in the morning. So I think I want to give that a shot. So that's the Sacred Ritual Morning Buzz body scrub. And then Beautylish actually sent out an email, like, you know, one of their random emailers over this past week, and it was highlighting a Suzanne Kaufman product, and it was for like a bath oil. So it's something you can add into your bath. It's probably something you can rub on your body as well while it's still wet, like one of those products. So I really, really want to try that. And when I was taking a look at this particular bath oil, it looks like this line also has like a bubble bath. It's called like a mallow bubble bath. I'm very, very intrigued, so I think I'll be picking that up as well. I am not the biggest bath person. I started taking baths late last year because I hurt my back, and I was using these Laura Jones CBD bath salts, which I also recommend, but I think I mentioned that in my fall video. Anyway, trying not to be repetitive, but I do recommend that as well. But I'm definitely running low on those bath salts, and I am realizing that baths really are just so therapeutic. So I definitely want to try more bath products. So this bubble bath sounds like fun, and then I definitely want to try that bath oil as well. And then the last two things on my wish list are two things from Oribe. They have a hand cream and a hand scrub. I've been using an Aesop hand lotion, which I really enjoy, and a Lush hand scrub that I also really enjoy. But I want to try something different. I really, really love Oribe products, and I really love that Côte d'Azur fragrance that they use in most of the products that they have. And with all of the hand washing that we're doing, I'm doing so much hand washing, I'm not even putting my rings back on. So that's why, if you've noticed, I haven't had my rings on, I think in the past, maybe a couple videos. But anyway, they're just sort of sitting next to my sink because it's like taking them on and off. It's just been such a pain in the butt. So anyway, I've been going through a lot of hand lotion. So I thought, let me try a new one, and with a scent that I know that I really, really love. So I think I'll be getting those Oribe products. So those are all the things that are on my wish list / in my cart. And I'm really, really excited for this gift card event because this is the first time Beautylish is doing this in the spring. Again, they usually only do it once a year in the fall. But I think, you know, like most retailers, they're responding to what is going on. And I hope you guys are all staying healthy and being safe. And let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.